Good afternoon, everybody, and sorry that we are late for the Rural Report. We had some technical issues today, but hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Raúl Arcos, Business Development Specialist for the Center for Rural Affairs. Today, we'll be talking a little bit about what to consider before applying for a loan, some Q&A with Sam Tulp, Loan Specialist with the Southeast part of the state. Before we get started, let us know that you're here by saying hello in the chat box, which is being monitored by one of our colleagues. Please feel free to ask any questions during the live stream at any time in the chat box. If you would like to learn more about the Center for Rural Affairs, please visit our website at cfra.org. A little bit about the center. It was established in 1973 in Northeast Nebraska with the main office located in Lyons, Nebraska. It exists to build more vibrant rural communities. Our business lending program started in 1990, and it's committed to strengthening rural communities through small, self-employed business development. We offer 4 essential services, which is financing, the microloans, business training, business coaching, and networking. For more information about upcoming events and to register, please visit our website. The link is in the comment section. Our staff is available to Nebraska-based businesses for one-on-one coaching, and we have several loan products to fit your business needs. Today, I have Sam Tulp, Loan Specialist for the Southeast area, who will be answering some questions on what to consider before applying for a loan. Sam?
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for having me today, Raúl. This is the first time I've gone Facebook Live, so I'm looking forward to some good questions from the audience. Like Raúl said, I'm a loan specialist with the Center for Rural Affairs. I work primarily with the small business community, but we're also starting to do some small mortgage loans as well. I am based out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Today I'm in my home, but I cover all of Southeast Nebraska. And you can usually find me in the Lincoln Community Foundation, or I've got all my contact information here as well if you've got questions after our presentation today. But thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys learned some good stuff, and hopefully we're able to connect in the future.
Thank you, Sam. And let's get started on this very interesting topic. Sam, what is the first thing you should take in consideration when thinking about applying for a loan, and why?
So before applying for a loan and reaching out, going through that process, having your credit report pulled, I think it's important to ask yourself three really main questions. First one is, why do you need the money? What is that money going to help you accomplish? What is the purpose of this loan? When I work with loan clients, we always have them itemize how they're going to spend almost every dollar that they're requesting. So it's really important that you have put some thought beforehand into how you want to use those funds. And kind of going along with that thought, there should be some consideration for how this loan will help you grow your business. The purpose shouldn't hopefully be just to keep doing what you're doing. You want to be looking to expand, to grow, to bring in new revenue streams. And then I think the most important question that people often forget is, can I afford this loan right now? Yes, you may want the money, but it's important to make sure that taking out this credit isn't going to stop you from what you're currently doing, but that it's going to supplement what you're currently doing. So those are questions I ask of almost every borrower as well. So if you've already thought of those questions, it's going to make the loan process a little bit easier. It's going to make you look like you are on top of your business, that you are someone that we want to give money to because you are professional, you are responsible, you are prepared. And then I think a good way to work through those questions is the development of a business plan. Before reaching out and getting in touch with a bank or a foundation of any sort, you should have some kind of business plan in place, because that helps organize and explain to other people all of the great ideas that you have about your business and your ideas and plans for the future. And putting those thoughts into a cohesive story is going to make it easy to sell your business to potential investors, lenders, even your friends and family. And that's actually a service that the Center for Rural Affairs and a number of other small business resources will offer. So you can go online and look for a lot of assistance with that business plan, but that to me is the most important first step, because oftentimes your business plan will include a request for financing, and that gives you an opportunity to fully explain what you want the money for, just like I was talking about, and answering those questions in a streamlined, easy to digest way.
Thank you, Sam. And just to remind our viewers, if you would like to see a little bit more about the business plan, you can always go back through the videos on our Center for Rural Affairs page and find the business plan rural report that is on here, and you can watch it at any time at your convenience, which is always amazing information that we share. Second question, Sam. What are some of the most common documents that you need to have ready before applying for a loan?
So all lenders are going to have different kind of criteria that they're looking at when they are assessing a loan request. So it varies by the institution. It also varies by the size of the loan request that you're making. If you're asking for $500 in working capital, I'm not going to ask for as much documentation as if you're asking for $250,000 to purchase a new building. Obviously, those have kind of different requirements, but generally, any lender is going to want to see some financial documents and some business verification documents. A good place to start is, once again, your business plan. And then from there, you can build out things like a profit and loss statement or a balance sheet, which are financial documents which give us kind of a snapshot of the financial health of your business at that moment in time. In addition, most lenders are going to want to see some previous tax returns and bank statements, both on the personal side and business side, because not only is the business asking for money, but you are going to be personally responsible. So oftentimes there will be questions that go into your personal finances. And I think just knowing that and being prepared will make those conversations easier. Oftentimes I work with people who are unsure about their finances or feel like they may not be the best. They have, some credit mishaps here and there. But if you are on top of your credit situation, as long as you know what is on your credit report, it goes a long way that you are actively working towards improving those things, or at least aware of them. I hate it when I catch someone off guard on accident by mentioning something I saw that they missed. And then in addition to those financial documents, you'll want to have things like your assumed business name or articles of organization, depending on how you registered your business and what type of legal entity you are. You'll also want to make sure that you have the proper licenses for your industry. If you're a salon, you'll want to make sure that you're up to date with cosmetology. If you are working in a restaurant industry, you want to make sure you're up to date with your food handlers and liquor licenses. And if you're working in a daycare, you want to make sure you have the appropriate licenses there. So one thing I make sure to tell my borrowers is document everything. Make sure you're keeping record of all of your business transactions, all of your business expenses, because when we can see those things on paper, it makes it easier to lend out to you in the future. And it makes it easier for you to track your growth over time as well. The purpose of getting a loan should be to grow your business. If you don't know how your business is doing now, how will you know if that loan is improving your business down the line? So those are the kind of documents that you can prepare even before applying for a loan. You can make sure that you have up-to-date tax returns, recent bank statements available. Those are things you can kind of be working on your own.
And Sam, are there different documents depending on the amount of money that they requested?
Yeah, so like I was saying, the larger the loan request, the more intensive the documentation will be. Sometimes I've asked for as much as 3 years worth of tax returns just to show that the business is consistent over time, that there isn't instability. During the pandemic as well, there's been an increased documentation so that we can record what did the business look like before the pandemic? What does it look like now? And that way we can see how the business was affected by shutdowns, lockdowns, other measures, so that we know what things will look like during good times. So again, the larger your request, just be prepared for a longer process and for more documents to be needed to underwrite that loan.
Sam, before applying for a loan, what would be your best practices to ensure that you are loan ready?
So beyond asking yourself those couple of questions about affording the loan and what you need it for and putting together your business plan, there are 5 things that you should do. The first is going to be that business plan. That's really going to solidify everything, make sure that you're requesting the right amount of money and that you have a plan for how you want to spend that money. Like we've mentioned, there are lots of resources available to help you flesh out and really build up your business plan. You can look at our previous Rural Rapport videos, as well as check online resources. Second is putting together those financial documents. Again, there are lots of resources available to small business owners. I provide templates of what I'm asking for to my borrowers so that they have an idea of what we're looking for. And you can find examples online. What's nice is there's really a strong small business community throughout Nebraska and the US, and a lot of people are willing to share their expertise and their experience with other small business owners who are looking to break into the market. The third thing, every borrower should get to know their credit history before applying for a loan. You should have an idea of any red flags. You should know kind of what balances you're carrying, and there's a really easy way to do so. You can go to annualcreditreport.com. It's actually a free government-backed website that allows you to pull your credit report once per year, free of charge, without dinging your credit in any sort of way. This way, people can actually know every single thing on your credit report. It's different than pulling your FICO score from your mobile banking app because it's going to give you deeper information about each of your accounts. And it's really what I look at when I am working with a borrower. So if you know what those red flags are ahead of time and kind of explain why there was a lull or some of these issues, it just makes things move a lot smoother. You can also get a credit report from each of the credit bureaus directly. So that's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Once per year, you can request a full credit report from each. So if you get a credit report from each of those agencies, you've got one potentially every 3 months, and that lets you really keep up with how your credit is improving, changing, or hopefully staying the same. Fourth, I think people should do a little bit of research before deciding where to apply. There are a number of different financial institutions, banks that are large, small, local, national, banks where you may already have an account or a relationship. There are also community development financial institutions like the Center for Rural Affairs. There are credit unions, there are grant opportunities. So I think it's important to make sure that you are aware of all those options. Take a look at interest rates, terms available to you. You as a business owner hopefully know that it's always important to get the best deal possible. And why would you miss out on a good opportunity for potential credit? So reaching out to those agencies beforehand, you can often get pre-qualified for a loan and have your information run to get an idea of how much they could lend you to. And then fifth are the 5 C's of credit. It's a lot of information for you guys, but these are the 5 things that everyone considers when looking at applying for new credit. So one of the first C's is, do you have any collateral? That would be personal or business assets that you can use to strengthen your case as a borrower. In case things go bad with the loan, you're putting a little skin in the game. You also want to take a look at what the current market conditions are. During the pandemic, obviously, business was down. So maybe you're not going to spend as much on inventory. Maybe you want to be thinking about other ways to be strengthening your business, but you want to know what the market looks like at that time. You also want to take a look at your capacity. How much extra revenue do you have at the end of each month that you could be using to pay down a loan? And if your business is not profitable, maybe it's not a good time to take out a loan because you're not going to be able to pay that obligation back. Then you want to take a look at what kind of capital you have. Again, that's assessing all of your assets, taking an inventory of what you have available to you. And then lastly, you want to think about your character as a borrower. So this is where your credit report comes back into play. When I am working with borrowers, I want to make sure I see a good history of on-time payments for your mortgage, your rent, your bills. I want to make sure that you're going to pay me back. So having good character, making sure you're taking care of any unpaid debts or any collections goes a long way to showing that you are going to be a good borrower moving forward. So those are kind of the 5 things that you should be thinking of before the loan process. Now, I'm always happy to help people think through those questions as well. But if you spend a little time on those issues first, it will just make it easier right from the get-go for you. And you're going to have a better idea of what that future actually looks like if you've planned it out.
Thank you, Sam. Those are great tips. And if you have any more information, if you'd like more information, you can always contact Sam. His information is on the screen, and also my information is also on the screen. Thank you, Sam, for all your insight. In closing, whether you're a startup business or a current business owner, there are some considerations you need to take before applying to a loan. And as Sam mentioned, there is many resources out there that can help you access and prepare for your business to apply for a loan. And we at Center for Rural Affairs can help you get ready whenever you need it. For additional information or for further questions, or if you live in the Southeast area and you would like more information about a loan, you can reach out to Sam. His contact information is in the chat box, and you can reach out to him. You can follow us on social media. We are here on Facebook and Twitter at CFRA. And Instagram, we're at Rural Nerd. And you can also find us on LinkedIn. We continuously share resources that we develop to promote in the events that we are hosting. You can visit our website at cfra.org. Again, I am Raúl Hawkins, Business Development Specialist for the Center for Rural Affairs. Thank you, Sam, for answering some very important questions on what to consider when applying for a loan. Thank you for joining us. We are going to stay on for a little bit. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat box, and we'll be glad to answer them. Again, thank you, Sam, for being with us. And we're going to stay on for just a minute or two and see if there's any questions. Like I said, you can find Sam's information in the chat box. Also, in the chat box, you will find the link to annual credit report that you can just click on and go directly to check on your credit report if you're concerned about it. Or if you would like to see what your credit score is, you can always check on the link, and also our events page from our website. It doesn't appear like we have any questions, Sam. Thank you again for being with us. Thank you for being with us, and have a great day, everybody.
Thank you. I hope to hear from some of you soon, and I hope I didn't scare any of you with all that information. I am always happy to help with the loan prep side as well. I want to make sure I get people to a lendable place. So even if you aren't ready to apply yet, feel free to reach out, ask questions, and we can help get you to a place where you are. So thanks again for having me, Raúl. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.